Hey folks, welcome to this week's Urgent Alert here at Top Gun Options. Our Urgent Alert service is a trade that I throw out every once in a while. It doesn't have to be weekly. It's whenever I see a good trade. So I'm going to do an Urgent Alert today, but I'm also going to give you your marching orders for next week. I am going on spring break, and I'm taking the first vacation I've taken. I can't remember. It's still going to be a semi-working vacation, because as you guys know, I can run essentially TGO, all my portfolios, send out text alerts from my phone, but I'm not going to sit down and do any webinars at 8 in the morning out in Aspen when I could be skiing or having breakfast with my kids. I'm taking a well-deserved break. We're still above 90% in a rolling 6 months basis of successful trades. Amazon's getting kicked in the teeth again. Who cares? We lose some. It was fine at the open, and then it gave up the ghost a little bit. We're going to talk about WYNN in a couple minutes, but it's the life of a weekly options trade, man. Yeah, everything's looking great today, and by Thursday afternoon it sucks. Or Friday. Today's Friday afternoon. You win some, you lose some. I ain't rolling it. I ain't doing anything. What was it? 2 weeks ago, we saw in the last half an hour this thing pin up into the close, and the trade went from being down $5,000 halfway through the day to being a max profit of $2,200. So this is the life of weekly options. But we'll get tactical in a second. Real quick, if you're not getting my daily free videos, you're not signed up for them. You need to head to go.topgunoptions.com/sitrep. That's SITREP. And just scroll down and put your name and your best email address in here. And it comes, I shoot it every day. Sometimes I shoot it before market open, at lunch, after market. I don't do it at the same time. I know a couple people are like, can you do it at the same time every day? No, because various things happen throughout the day where I'm like, now I'm going to shoot it. So that's the deal with that. If you're not getting it and you said you signed up for it, it's in your spam. Google, I started not getting mine for a while, and of course I go apeshit on my techie, and they're like, look in your spam box. It started going to spam. If you don't open it, or if you don't click on it every once in a while, Google, in all their infinite wisdom and quashing of free speech and limousine liberalism, says they don't need to read this since they haven't opened one of these in a while, and it disappears. So it's not our fault if you signed up for this and you're getting it. It's Google's fault, the board, right? All these wonderful tech companies that do good and want to think for you and control conservative speech. Nazis. Anyway, everybody throws that term out so much lately. I'm going to start doing it. I'm going to be them. Google it are Nazis. So, also, a couple of folks, I mentioned it in passing the other day. I have 3 books sitting on the other side of the table. I'm going to run to the post office and drop off. If you want an autographed copy of my book, here's the link. Go.topgunoptions.com/ you ready for it? Book. So the book's on here, along with some sample clips from a keynote I gave to McKesson, I don't know, a year or two ago, out in Vegas. Wow. I don't think I remember that event. And there's the CEO of McKesson, highest paid CEO in the world that year. 150 million bucks. I think standing next to him, money flew into me. It was awesome. But I'll autograph a copy of the book for you, for anybody else. Just head to go.topgunoptions.com/book. Now, I'm certainly not leaving you high and dry, as everybody can attest to for years when I go out on spring break. I can be literally on the top of a back bowl and be like, okay, I need to send out an alert or something like that. That will happen throughout the week. I'll probably shoot a couple videos. Just don't count on it, man. Remember, I call these live trade briefs for a reason. Air-to-air missions, air-to-ground missions should be extremely quiet. Right? Why? Because it should be going as briefed. The only time you should be communicating over the radio during a combat mission is when something ain't going as briefed. So if everything's going as briefed tomorrow, it might be very quiet. Here's what you're going to do, though, especially our 50 new members that just joined us a couple weeks ago. You are going to go underneath member content. You're going to click on the full throttle tab, and you're going to go back a page. Scroll all the way down and go older entries. Why? Because you're going to start at session numero uno right here. It's from February 8th. It's about a month ago, folks. So these, and we did our last one 2 weeks ago. So this is all fresh, good content. These are the 8 sessions that I'm going to do live again. I don't know. I'm focused about packing and going to Aspen, man. We'll do it in a couple weeks. I haven't picked a date. Why? Because this stuff's brand new and current. You will start at full throttle session 1 our strategic, operational, tactical brief, our 7-step trade plan review, our intel sources and methods. Then you're going to go on to session 2, options basics. This is a call, this is a put. This is what when selling a call, so blah, blah, quack, quack. This is a market. All the basics. This is your aerodynamics, meteorology, and all that stuff, folks. Then you're going to go and take the building block approach and go through all these vertical spreads, covered calls, cash secured puts, and end up at session 8, long call diagonals and synthetic stocks. So you're going to have a busy week next week. This is self-study time, man. This is me when I wanted to go be a Hornet pilot or fly jets for the Navy. You know what I did when I went to flight school in Pensacola, Florida? I lived out in the middle of the woods near the air station. 1-bedroom house. You know what my buddies who lived in downtown Pensacola, who played volleyball and went drinking every night, got? They got helicopters. You want to fly jets? You're going to watch these 8 sessions next week. You should have downloaded all your manuals, primary, intermediate, and advanced. So next week is heads down week for all my new members and my existing members, folks. Remember, everybody, I mean, hell, even when I give some of these, I go, you know what, I learned something, or I added something to the way I do this stuff. So I'd recommend that old and new members, senior, not old, maybe run through all the full throttle training sessions. I've told you a couple times this week, especially to my new folks, hey, I do a long call diagonal or synthetic stock on MGM. You see where it says Raytheon here? Put a blank. So this is the same process to do a long call diagonal or synthetic stock. On blank, it's blank. Watch this. It'll give you the exact process. Does that make sense? That's your marching orders for next week. Like I said, no problem. I'll send out alerts, obviously, if needed. I can do that. No promises on market sit reps or anything. Just keep an eye on your email if I'm going to do a pop-up brief. If by Wednesday North Korea is invading Canada and coming down through Wisconsin, I'll do a brief, folks. But if it's your typical, if the market's doing what I said it's going to do for the past 2 months, and I might change my call sign to Nostradamus. I'm not shitting you, man. We nailed this. We didn't get the timing right, obviously, of the short vol trade, but and new members, go back to the beginning or end of January webinars. I said the first or second week in February, we will have a pullback. It sucks. It's Valentine's Day. Well, it didn't suck for me. The Eagles won. The February sucks as a month anyway. We're probably going to see the market pull back. What happened? As the market pulled back and volatility woke up, what happened? The $8 billion people running in front of steamrollers to pick up dimes in their short volatility trade got wiped out. I said it's a buy the dip. We're going to head back up to the 50-day, and we're going to chop around. We were right. Holy crap, Putin, Trump, pal, oh my. I said this is a BTFD. We are not doing the Wells Fargo back down here. We are doing the BlackRock higher. We went up here. Monday afternoon in timing research, I said we will pull back to the 50-day moving average this week, and we're holding it today. Cut, paste, print, put that on my tombstone, folks. We've been nailing this. So expect, you see this here? Expect that here, okay? I'm not going to put out a weekly options trade for next week because I ain't watching it. So no weekly options trade next week. But unless something abnormal happens, do not expect to hear that much from me. Okay, you have your marching orders. Sign up for the sit rep. Go.topgunoptions.com/sitrep. Grab a book, an autograph, but was it $35 autographed? I think it's 20 unautographed. And start doing your homework, man. You should be reading by the time I get back from Aspen. You should have read all 3 of your manuals, and you should have watched 8 of these videos. If you didn't, you're going to be flying helicopters here at Top Gun Options, and we don't have helicopter pilots here. All right, let's get to an urgent alert. Hopefully by now you've watched the Friday market wrap-up video that I sent out. I'm going to do this. This is going to be shocking to some of you. It's not shocking to me, but because I have a good strategic mindset about these things. WYNN is it's down 1%. Awesome. So we have our bear call spread up here, and we legged into with a bull put spread down here. So we have a little bit of an iron condor going here out to next Friday. Love it. This is one I'm going to be watching, obviously. Be sitting there at middle camp, having a glass of champagne, and I'll have my phone out looking at this. But here's what I want to do. I've covered many times that they ain't changing, they ain't sticking with WYNN as on the top of that casino. It will not happen. That's like Weinstein. I'm going to go stay at Weinstein Resorts. That's not going to happen, folks. Or they're going to get bought out. Either way, I think WYNN is due for some market-moving news to the upside. Now, I think with all this crap, kind of like the MGM, the horrible tragedy at MGM and the shooting, I think that their earnings were impacted a little bit, but the CEO said it ain't that bad. I got to be honest with you. I had a buddy who was, what convention? He was at the Mandalay Bay a couple days later. He's like, Wiz, it's just within hours of the Las Vegas cops like reopening the Mandalay Bay. There's people fucking gambling. Sitting there's like what, a couple hundred or 50, 60 dead people within a quarter mile, and people are in this one hand, they've got their smoke in their mouth, and Christ Almighty, man, get a life. My point being is, check out what I'm going to do. I like trading the front months, and I like trading the back months. Son of a bitch, for probably the first time in 8 years, I'm going to plop down right here in June. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy some calls. Take a look at the open interest here at the 180s, the at-the-money. We're at 184, right? So the at-the-money calls are about the 185s. $6,000, 2,500, 45. Look at right around here, folks. Now, looking at and talking to my SIN market maker, about 90% of these were what? Bought. This is bullish options flow. So there are some people, me included, based on my strategic mindset, that think by June, March, April, May, June, 3.5, 4 months, that either they're going to ditch the name, or they're currently talking. They're not gambling or sitting at the pool at the WYNN, the executives right now. They're on the phone with people in China. They're figuring out with their marketing department, how do we change the name? It's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen. I would think before June. If you think it's a little later, maybe you go September 18th, but check this out. I'm going to go, I like the, look at these 190s. They got 4,500, 150 in volume. I am going to be a straight buyer. I'm going to buy 10 of the June 18 190 calls. Okay? Wiz, you're forgetting your protective put. I don't need it. If you haven't Googled the two words portfolio margining yet, you're not doing your work. And this trade, if you look down here, I'm coming out of pocket notionally in this trade about, let's just round up and say 11 grand. What I am going to do, however, is what? I think WYNN is going to be in a little bit of a range here. I'm going to sell. If I'm trading these mid-month calls, the Junes, I'm going to sell some front-month upside. Look at that. Oops, I said front month. It's like looking at the pricing there. I'm like, well, what are you, high? Next Friday. So I already lowered my cost basis from 10, 11 down to 10.5-ish. So we're already bringing a little bit of scratch on this. Maybe the 190s. You know what? Let's look at the 190s. Look at that. I saved us $1,000. Remember, just buying these straight 190 calls, I pointed down here, it was like $10,500. Now it's cost $9,750. Not too. I haven't done this in a while. I feel this though, right? Now this will freak you the hell out. Obviously, the first place everybody looked was, Wiz, are you smoking crack? Of course not. It's not 5 o'clock. Of course I'm not. You might, and I'm not talking to you individually. I'm talking to you as a newsletter and a group of people. Remember, folks. We obviously could place what I call a disaster put underneath this, right? I'm spending $9,800. I am not. I'm managing the portfolio as Wiz, and that's, so disaster puts, if needed, great. If not, what would be a disaster for WYNN? The guy gets his job back and he's still molesting people? I don't. It ain't going out of business. It makes MGM stock look like it's on the junior varsity team. This is a solid company. I've been to WYNN Properties in Macau. I've given a keynote there. I love the thing. So buying 10 of the June 18 190 calls and selling for what, about $1.04 or $1.05, the front month 190 calls for about $9.72. It's a debit. Okay, everybody feasts their eyes down here that, the total P&L we could probably make in this trade. The theoretical P&L is $800, but the theoretical P&L at expiry is what? Maybe a couple grand. So I like this. I like this trade, right? $3,300. It is not without risk. The odds of WYNN going to zero are 0.0. Mr. Blutarski's GPA in Animal House. Okay, so I like this trade. If you want to throw a disaster put on, pilot and command moment. You can do whatever the hell you want to do. Let me grab I'll grab a screenshot of this and send it out. And you're watching this replay right now in a video, so obviously you already got the trade. So let me send this out as a text. All the other, quote, existing positions in the urgent alert are kind of aged off the radar here. We had a good day, Amazon. We had a good Amazon bull put spread. We had a one-day VXX trade that crushed it a little while ago, but this Amazon bull put spread made $2,300. So if you were in this one and you're getting hit with the max loss on the Amazon today, there's 50% of it back for you. So again, losing trades happen. That's why I warn people in the joint brief. I'm like, do not do this trade if you don't recognize it. Yeah, making a grand or two in a day sometimes in weekly options is great, and then losing $5 with the trade looking great up until Thursday or Friday afternoon sucks. If you can't handle that, you do not do it. Stop. And yeah, so kind of older trades in here that I think have aged off the radar. There was some good winning WYNN trades, so we should be good to go. All right, let me get this text alert out. It's 2:22. I actually need to run down to Fort Lauderdale and grab some clothes to pack for Aspen tomorrow. Freaking car's coming at 3:30 in the morning to take us to the airport. Kill me. But okay, looking forward to a hopefully quiet week next week. As I said, I'll be in touch. Do me a favor, provide each other mutual support in the Ready Room. We have a lot of members who do some great work. I get an email whenever somebody posts in the Ready Room. I'm like, it falls into my email 50 things. But when I get a dead moment, I sit there and go, all right, let me get in the Ready Room. You guys are great. Kevin, Tamara, a bunch of you guys jump in there. What's his name? All of you do. All of you do a great job. If you have any questions, concerns, training issues, throw it in the Ready Room. If I don't get to it right away, somebody else is going to help you out. And I read their stuff, and 99.9% of the time they put it through the bullseye. So it's good mutual support, and I appreciate it. Okay? Again, if you're not getting the sit rep, it's either in your spam, and you got to click like mark it safe, or when you get these sit reps, click on the damn email, folks, so Google knows that you like getting this, even if you're not going to watch the sit rep at that moment. Because I know we have like a couple thousand people registered for the sit rep, but only like 1,000 people open the email. So please do not complain to us if you're not getting this. I'm telling you, for a week, I wasn't getting it. I'm yelling at my techie. I look at my spam, and it's sitting there. Because I shoot the damn sit rep. I just usually, when I see the email, I'm like, okay, it fired. I hadn't been clicking on them, and Google, of course, knows better than me, and decided to put it in my spam box. And finally, you can grab a book. Go.topgunoptions.com/book. I got 3 of them from folks who I autographed, and they are on the way. All right, guys. Again, I'll probably do a Monday market outlook. We're on Mountain Time anywhere, on East Coast Mountain Time, so I'll probably be up. But just keep an eye on your phone for updates and how goes this throughout the week. And like I said, jump in the Ready Room to help support each other out. Otherwise, if you're new to Top Gun Options, you got 8 full throttle sessions to watch between now and when I get back, and you have 3 manuals to read from cover to cover, and we're gonna have a good rest of the year. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. God bless. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys in a while.